Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am late, but I am live. Listen, Will Smith, that played Muhammad Ali once upon a time, was on top of the world, made a lot of money, made so much money to the man retired in 2008. If you guys can remember, Will Smith took a break from movies for like 4 years or something like that. I think one of his last films was 7 Pounds. You guys remember that movie, but he came back and he really wasn't the same. I don't feel. He started doing a lot of like co-promotion roles, co-starring roles. Of course he had his own stuff, After Earth sucked, you know what I mean? Him and his son, I think that should have been Untitled Trinity. Will Smith is a beta male. He hits like a sissy. Ooh, wait a minute. Um, let's get into some of this. Rob Dog, sorry. What's just missing the baby powder? Pimp slap. Put it in. Slap. Funny. I'm backing Will Kurt. Marcy D, counterpunch to you. Carlos Moralos. Let's just be straight, fresh like pimp. Pimped Prince. Yeah. What you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, he's a bad boy. You know, we know what happened. So
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
now, this is before the slap. The initial joke was put out about Jada Pickett Smith. And of course, she rolled her eyes like, what the hell? But then if you look at the reaction to Will Smith, I'm going to show you, right? And I want you guys to look at this, all right? And this is the caption. This is his initial look. We all know Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. We know that. So when he said the joke, this was Will Smith. Look at that. Look how Will was just chuckling along, having a good time. Now look at his wife over there. She's like, this motherfucker. Right? Look at that. Close attention, people. Now, does that man Will Smith look like anybody that's going to get up there and slap the shit out of somebody at that particular time? Do you think that was his intention to do so at that particular time? Look at it. No, you don't. Why? Because it wasn't. That was not his initial, that was not his initial reaction. He thought the shit was probably funny. But since his wife was like, that shit ain't funny, then he had to take charge or do something. And he did that because of how she felt about Chris Rock's joke. But this was bigger than just Chris Rock telling a joke or a bad joke about Jada Pickett. This went far beyond that, and that's exactly what I want to talk about. See, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, you guys have just did this, and you guys have just done that to women. I'm pretty sure that he did that. You guys do that all the time. I'm like, listen, doesn't have anything to do with gender. I'm talking about what Jada did to Will on national TV. If you guys can remember when it was Corona time, her show, she wanted ratings, so she brought her people on, her kids on. And in my opinion, she exploited every one of them just for the sake of a damn ratings view. We know she had an affair with a young man, right? Young guy, 20s. I remember me in my 20s. I was a beast. So I can imagine if he's anything like I was, she was getting her business and she was getting it well. When he gave that "I can be better" speech, he sounded like Hancock. Yep. Little Hancock came out. Hancock. Men need to get mental health too. This is a prime example. He hits like a sissy. Will Smith is a beta male. Now, do you guys think Will Smith was a beta male for doing what he did? Because a lot of people like, hey, I respect what he did. He was protecting his wife. But did his wife really need protecting to that magnitude? Just a casual. What's up, CP? What's up, just a casual? I like what Kareem Abdul-Shakur had to say about this. What did he say? Psycho Crusher, what's up, brother? 8-bit game buster. Smith was wrong. That's a comedian on stage to roast an audience. Imagine what Ricky Gervais would have said. I don't know what that is. If the comedian was white, would Will have done the same thing? Well, I don't look at it like that. I look at it like this. If it was Idris Elba, and Idris Elba would have said something like that, or Earthquake, right? Somebody with some size, and like that's the thing. People forget Will Smith is from Philadelphia. He's from Philly. So, yeah, that's in him. And that gave him a lot of pressure. I know he felt disrespected. Kurt's new channel, Counter Slap Box, and I heard that. She dressed like a doctor, evil. Yeah, she did. That was evil. James West, blessed by the best. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you with that $5 super chat in there. Super chat sticker. Appreciate it. Chris Rock's ticket sales are going through the roof. I think this was a publicity stunt. I do not. I don't think that was a publicity stunt. I think that was Will's way of letting pressure release. I do. Absolutely. I mean, there's no other way around it. He had pressure on him. People were talking about his family. He heard the blogs. He heard this. He heard that about divorce and this, that, and the other. And his wife did that shit on public TV. She shouldn't have done that. She shouldn't have done that. Like 50 Cent said it best. He was like, yo, champ, why did your wife totally do you like that on national television? He told 50 Cent to fuck himself. And it's like, if that was 50 Cent, you think he would have done that shit with 50? They would have been fighting. If he would have slapped 50, 50 probably would have went 50 across his face. And and it's people do question like it was Chris Rock. I question like, would you have done that? Now, he'd have done that shit to Terry Crews. That would have been another totally different story. Because, Chris Rock, man, even if Chris Rock would have swung back at Will, I would have respected that. But guess what? Chris Rock would have got destroyed, bro. Will Smith would have beat the hell out of Chris Rock, but rightfully so. Chris Rock's like 5'8", 5'9". He ain't a tall guy. He ain't really short, but he's a small dude. He's always been small. He played Pookie from New Jack City, people. He played a crackhead, people. If you haven't seen New Jack City, he was a crackhead. Crackheads, you got to be skinny, especially when you're, smoked out. Pfizer sponsored the Oscars and are coming out with a new alopecia drug. That crap was fake. Who do you know who slaps that way? Will? Did the slap even sound? Of course it sounded, Jorge. You didn't hear that shit? I'm going to show you in a minute. Salute CP Drummond for life. Counterpunch to you. Will needs to get out that sunken place. He does. Kurt, this was just misplaced aggression. It was. It was. Absolutely. Hold on just a second, guys. 1 minute. Now, let's see. Divorce. Divorce incoming. Well, hey, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Look at these. Ben Odom. For whatever reason, Will was drunk courage. His face was red. He had no right slapping. Chris Rock just makes our people look bad. Ben Odom, appreciate the $50, the 50 pounds super chat. Thank you, appreciate it. Listen, Will was probably full of that, but full of that yak. There is liquid courage when you do consume the sauce. Okay, that's true. But it just didn't come for the sauce. Something had to be wrong with Will and his family for him to react the way he did. You know. So I think that Will took his frustration out on poor little Chris Rock. And it was crazy. It was crazy. Because initially he wasn't that way. Smith was pushed into doing that by Jada. It's manipulation at its best. It's like a violent relationship where one has power over the other. Yeah, I feel you on that. Because there was no reason for him to have that one initial reaction, and then he looks at her, then he has to do something about it. Maybe she just kind of like, you know, like, motherfucker, get over there. What you gonna do? This motherfucker just talked about my hair. You know I got alopecia. You know my condition. How dare you? And you know what? If Will wouldn't have done nothing, it would have probably been an argument after that. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, people. That marriage could be so toxic to the point where it has to be that way because either that's the only way that they're going to get along, coincide. You know, he had to do that because he didn't want to hear the shit afterwards. You know, you don't know what Jada's doing to him. Well, we know he said it himself. Love makes you do crazy things. Well, this is true. And I know he loves his wife, but I think his wife, I would have divorced Jada Pinkett in 2020. You know, you wouldn't bring me on your show, do me like that, talk to me like that, and call something you did something else. You wouldn't have not done that to me. I wouldn't have been on national television with that for ratings. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah. No. Will's an actor and all, but no, that was athlete. Listen, let me tell you something about acting. Yeah, people think, oh, he's an actor, he's fake. No, those are real emotions. You have to bring them from somewhere. It's called substitution. People cry on set using substitution when someone dies, or they can relate to whatever that character's going through. That's why people select parts. So it makes me wonder why people pick certain parts. You know, if you're a killer or you're a fighter or you're just an angry person, okay, if you've been angry, you know what being angry is like, okay? You channel your own true emotion of being angry into that character. There's nothing fake about that. So when you seen Will Smith yesterday cry and get pissed off and yell on the top of his lungs, that man was absolutely pissed off. So people say it's fake. No, that was not fake, okay? He just knew what his wife didn't like, and I know she has some kind of control over him. Obviously so. If he went to do something that drastic, he could have just hollered like, hey, keep your name out my fucking mouth. Or he could have went to Chris Rock, grabbed him by the shoulder and whispered in his ear, hey, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. And then walked off. And he was like, oh, okay. Okay. And it would have been nothing else to it. But that didn't happen, did it? No, Will went up there with his nice tux on, with the, black and silk, slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. Chris Rock took it like a champ, but what else could he do? He wasn't going to go fight the dude because he was like, dude, I got to do this show. I'm still getting paid. Because if I start fighting him, then it'll be about both of us. No, it's just about Will. But really, Will's about Jada because Jada and Will has problems. They got problems. They've had problems. There'd be no way in hell I have an open relationship, open marriage. No way. That had to have problems from the get-go. This shit could have been stemming way back in when the Tupac Shakur days. You know what I mean? Because Tupac Shakur was the up-and-coming rapper. Will Smith was not. He was the clean guy. Summertime, right? And Tupac was, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. That's two different genres of rappers. So, it is what it is. But Will, he had that pressure and he had to release it with somewhere. So I might as well take it off on Chris Rock. Oh, there's a bad joke. Oh, my wife's pissed. Okay, there you go. That's my opportunity. Wish Chris Rock had retorted. He definitely had and equipped and a bit his tongue. That's right. If anyone here would do what Will did, he would leave in a cop car. That's true. That's crazy. But let me ask you this. Let me ask you another question. And I don't think this question has been asked. What if that was Jada Pinkett that did that? Jada Pinkett just went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. What do you think the initial reaction would have been? I knew Mia, shout out to the UK, Counterpunch to you, Undisputed Truth. Smith was laughing at the joke, for fuck's sake. Then he looked at his wife, she was pissed and he got up. Yep. But that's control, but it's control when it comes to pressure. Will, I feel, is being pressured to do a lot of shit that he really doesn't want to do. I think he loves his wife, but I think, they've hurt each other some. That's, you don't know what's going on. Karma. Terry Crews let a guy grab his junk and he didn't do anything. That is true. Let's see him slap Mike Tyson. Different outcome for Willie. Chris Rock is like 130 pounds. Yeah, he's a little dude, man. You don't slap the little guy. And then see, Will walked off knowing Chris Rock wouldn't have done anything. Now, you could convey that is like, hey, he was sure of that. He would not see any counter. Okay? There wasn't a counter slap coming back from Chris. He straightened his shit up and walked right back. And then, then he started cussing. Now, Will, I think, got away with it because he didn't start cussing first. Now, if he'd have started cursing first, that would have been a problem. Word of the day, Will Smith, bro. You didn't see that this whole time? Personally, I think that if it was Dave Chappelle up there doing the joke and Will ran up to the Dave, would have rocked his ass. Yeah, Dave Chappelle would have fought him. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? You want, look, and especially Will Smith's from Philly and he's from DC. Jorge Polanco, absolutely. Where was the security at? That's another question. You have ticket fillers, and that's people that's paid to make the audience look fuller than it really is. That's a seat filler. There's actually people that get paid. So when the actor goes up to the bathroom, someone else sits down in return just to fill that void so it won't look empty in the Oscars or the Grammys. And this is the thing about Will, though. Will can do whatever he wants. And really, I'm like Conor McGregor. I don't give a fuck money. Will could do that. You say you apologize. I'm like, okay, you apologize, but that still you still did what you wanted to do. You did what you felt you wanted to do. What's up, Kirk? That's what Will wants to do with Jada after the embarrassment that he put up with, but he can't do it, and he knew Rock was not going to react. Gerard, I think so too. I think he slapped the wrong person. Let's just be real. I think he slapped the wrong person. He should have slapped her ass when she did that, but he couldn't and he didn't. Matthew Branch, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. What's wrong with him? Is it that he is out of touch? Snob. Jada was like a tack boy, like he was a dog. Pretty much. That was fake. I don't think it was fake at all. Will did something that hasn't been exposed yet. She has that to hold over him. He will do whatever she says. Land sales, great Henderson. You know what? You're absolutely right. And who knows more about you than your spouse or your mate? Mm. So maybe she does. Maybe she, will go public if he ever divorced her. Why do you think Will didn't divorce her when he had the opportunity? I mean, why do you think that? That this was nothing but a bar argument. Chris got too close. Will say, look, dude, take this then. Kurt, did you see Tyson Fury has Jamal Miller in for sparring? Did you mean to say Jarrell Miller? Can't lock up a buddy situation gone wrong. Daryl Alexander with the $5 super chat. If we all got up and smacked a female comedian for disrespecting his wife, would people still defend him? If not, then perhaps she was not in danger. She was not in danger, Daryl. That's the whole point. That joke did, look, it was a bad joke, okay? It could have come off insensitive. It could have, but guess what? She was just fine. All she did was roll her eyes and probably looked at Will like, Will, what's she gonna do? You know, if I was Will Smith, I'd have looked at her and kept clapping and let the show go on. I wouldn't have let anyone control what the fuck I do or how I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? But it just shows you, though. This is what it shows. Will Smith has so much the film industry has so much respect for Will. No one did shit. No security. I didn't see. The only people that talked to him was like Tyler Perry and and Denzel. But other than that, you didn't see anybody. No, none of that. And especially after he started cursing, like people were just look. Ngongo was right behind him, and she wasn't even. She was just kind of like, okay. I don't think Will slapped him because of what he said, because of what he knew he was going to say. He didn't want the joke to go deeper into the August thing, so he stopped him. It's not even about Jada. Yeah, but see, it really is about Jada, though. and intelligence. Intellect, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Will, keep my name out your effing mouth. Chris, perfect response. But August had her in his mouth and vice versa. What, you ain't slapped them first? Yeah, I think Will, this is aggression that he should have done with he slapped the wrong people. He should slap that young ass boy for going public about somebody else's wife. I would have slapped the shit out of that young boy. But see, here's the problem with young guys. Young men can't take ass whoopings or assault like that. They will shoot you. They will shoot you and kill you. People really don't fight anymore. I think Will would have took him. I think Will would have beat his ass, but you think he would really fight Will? No, he wouldn't have. So suddenly Hollywood is all right with toxic masculinity. I don't know. I mean, they didn't, the Oscars, whoever the hell runs the Oscars, Dave would have verbally aired Will and Jada out. Well, it would have been a totally different story, probably with anybody else. Maybe John Leguizamo. He probably would have slapped John, and John was like, "What the fuck, man? What the fuck I do to you?" Yeah, Will Smith assault Jarek Wilkins. Where you been? This shit's viral. Yes, Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. The one that played Pookie the crackhead in New Jack City. Because I mean, when I think of Chris Rock, I think of his stand-up. I think of New Jack City, and I think of Lethal Weapon 4. All that other shit, I don't really. I mean, he's been in other movies and stuff and starred and stuff, but Top 5 was good. I remember Top 5, but I remember Top 5 from Rosario Dawson. So there you go. If you look at the close-up, Chris had his fist clenched. He was close to he chose not to retaliate. He did. I seen that. I seen that. And matter of fact, we're going to go through that too. And I was going to talk to you guys about that because he did have his shit clenched. So, here we go.
All right?
See, here's the thing. We don't know what went down because the camera angle was on Chris Rock when he said the joke. When she rolled her eyes, you don't know what gesture she gave Will Smith. Kurt, do you think that would have slapped 50? Hell no, Byron. If he had, what will happen? If he would have slapped 50 Cent, probably 50 Cent. Knowing 50 Cent would have, you know what? He would have slapped 50 Cent and they'd been fighting up there, and that shit would have been, they would have canceled the whole fucking thing. They would have canceled the whole fucking thing because he would have hit 50. 50 would have, if he would have slapped 50, 50 would have punched him. And he would have been mad because you slapped me like some kind of prostitute or something. No. I bet you security would have came in. Whatever they had, guys with nightsticks, flashlights, top flight security, whatever they had, they would have had to break those dudes up, and because that would have been a fight. Little Chris Rock, I mean, that was the only thing. The only person that said the joke was a person that I don't think had a chance in hell to even really fight back or really win. So Byron, no. 50 Cent said a lot of shit. Why you let your girl say that shit on national TV? 50 Cent, fuck you. Will should have responded by executive producing G.I. Jane 2. That would have been Cole Loco. Yeah, starring Jada. That would have been big. She gets all ripped with the bald head and shit. For the rest of his life, Will Smith will be a sucker punched by dudes who can punch. Matthew Branch. Kurt, do you think this is a problem we have as black men not being able to use our words, but violence that just breeds more destruction? Thoughts? Matthew, more than that, I think it makes, see, you can go there because he's the only one that did it, and he happens to be black. So, since that is the case, seriously speaking, people can use that. I wouldn't go with that, but it sticks out because anybody now, just like yourself, you could say, well, Will did it, it makes, he's supposed to be one of the most powerful black men. But it also shows you that regardless of what you think a person is or what type of power they possess and the money that they have, they're inferior or vulnerable or weak. Vulnerability and weakness are two different things, first of all. So I don't want to put them in the same categories per se, but I think Jada had something on him. I think so. Will Smith played Ali on the big screen, for God's sake, he can crack. Jada looked at him like, Will, and Will get up. And Will set it off. That's funny, he said set it off. After the slap, Chris Rock had fresh prints. Fresh prints all over his cheek. Jackie Boy Johnson, man, you ain't right. Exactly. Just look at her and say, relax, babe. Exactly. Calm down. See, it's women's job to get emotional, not men. See, that was emotional response, and he just slapped him. What do women do when they get mad? Mostly. What do? Physically, I mean, not just talk shit, but what do? Slap. So, I mean, it didn't look good. It didn't look good. I mean, it just didn't. It just wasn't a good sign. She had a strap on. She had a strap on him. D-boy, Jada abusing Will. Yeah, because if he had to do that, And see, here's the thing, and this is another thing we're going to look at too. All right, what did Jada do when Will? What did Jada do when Will slapped him? See, here's the thing. She set him up to do that, and she had no regard or didn't give a shit on what happened after he did it. See, if Will would have went to jail, Will would have got a charge. You know what I mean? That would have been Jada's fault. You know, who's Dwayne Martin? Above the Rim, man. He's above, he's the guy from Above the Rim with Tupac Shakur. He was the main star. Obviously, Will has some mental problems. Jada looks like an Elding ring boss. Will cried up there. I agree with what Jim Carrey said. What did Jim Carrey say? Bend over, 318. She might appear one way in public, but behind closed doors, cries. She might look tough, but I'm sure she might have started to tear up, and it made Will mad. Gotcha. Maybe, but I think it's a little deeper than that. I think she would have ridiculed him if he didn't do what he did. That's why he felt he had to do something. But he chose to do that. Let me give you an example. Something personal with me, right? I have a nephew that I kind of helped raise as a kid. And about 5 years ago, about 5 years ago, he told me to come to Dallas. So I came to Dallas because I had a show in Dallas. And I called him up and I wanted to see him. And he had problems with his wife. He had 5 fucking kids with her. At the time, he had 4 or something like that. Maybe he had 5 already. But I told him, I said, hey, well, man, I want to take my great nephews out, which is his kids. And we can go somewhere like Dave and Buster's or somewhere they can eat. And he was like, oh, man, that's cool, man. Good idea. Good idea. So initially he was cool. So I called him and I was like, hey, I texted him. I was like, okay, well, where's the address so I can come to your house? So guess what? He blocks me. So he blocks me and I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I get my dad to call him and ask him, what the hell did you block your uncle for? And he was just like, no, the girl was like, oh, well, I have his phone. So I said, no, that's bullshit because you blocked me. I don't care what phone you have or device you're using. You use that device to block me. So it took him 3 years to call me. And he finally did because he wanted some money. But it took him 3 years. And in these 3 years, he calls. I'm like out of the country and he calls on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, there he is. What's up? And he was like, oh man, just nothing much. And I asked him, like, why did you do what you did to me? And you know what his response was? Oh man, my wife said, well, she ain't messing around with nobody in Louisiana, so don't mess around with him. I said, okay, just because your wife said to you to do something, that means you do it. If your wife told you to jump off a fucking bridge, would you do it? And he was like, well, man, I kind of had to. No, you didn't. You didn't have to. See, the thing is, Will didn't have to go and do what he did. He chose to do that. Just like my nephew chose to block me to keep me away from him because his wife didn't like that side of the family, which is my side of the family. Hollywood full of enlistist, titleist, liberal snobs. I could care less, actually. All right, tight rock about AJ's chin. Usyk C Rock is. Anyone watch the body language of the guy when he analyzed the entanglement red table? I seen that shit. Nadeem, I seen that shit. And I'm going to tell you, it was bad. It was bad for many reasons because she put him on there to set him up and then lied to him. Oh, that was an entanglement. Motherfucker, was it an entanglement? That's what you want to call an affair? Where this guy, August, already came out and said, yeah, I did this. I had an affair. And he said it as he was proud because he was like, because I think at the time, someone that young, dealing with somebody older, a lot older than him, but still beautiful and still appealing, it ain't like she's fucking crusty and old. I mean? She's old enough, but she's not, 60, 70. She's still edible, okay? And I'm pretty sure he knew she was still edible. So at the end of the day, after spending that much time with him, it was 3 months or 4 months or something like that he spent with her, having sex to her and all that stuff. Okay, well, guess what? People start developing feelings, especially younger guys. Younger people look at relationships a lot different than older people. See, it might not have meant anything to Jada. She was just getting her physical, fix on from a younger dude. But the guy himself was more, it meant more to him than it did Jada. See, he called it a relationship, people. Jada called it a damn entanglement. The fuck are you talking about? Entanglement? That's grounds for a slap. Now, if he would have done that shit to Jada, I would have loved it. He just sit there looking like fucking In Pursuit of Happiness and shit. He sit there like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you brought me here to lie to me on fucking TV. You think these motherfuckers sleep in the same bed? I don't know. But if they didn't sleep in the same bed, would it be a big surprise? No. It had nothing to do with BlackRock-owned company Pfizer that sponsored this year's Oscars, and he had an alopecia medicine coming out next month. Just looking, Kurt, I'm going through something similar with my older brother right now. Yeah, family can be a bitch, bro. You know what I mean? Smith and West will definitely chose to do that shit. That was 12 months of entanglement jokes. Will was bound to slap at some point. Yeah? AJ's a better chin than people give him credit for. Fury has been down more times than AJ. Well, that's true. Things like that happen in families. Yep. We all know loads of Bitcoins. Hollywood zesty. She did him so dirty. Yes, she did. That was an entanglement. I had an entanglement. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about, entanglement? That's not, Because here's the thing. You're going to bring somebody, your husband, on a fucking show. Don't you think you owe him the right to say what you're going to say to address to the world before you get there and say some shit like she said? See, when she did that, I lost respect for Jada. And I lost a lot of respect for Will. I understand he's a weak man. Everybody plays the fools. No exception to the rule. It might be criminal. It might be cruel. But everybody plays the fool. You heard the song before. That's how it works sometimes. But with Will Smith sitting there taking that shit and pouting, that wasn't cool. That was not cool. No, it wasn't cool. I think Will's apology was not sincere. He partied hard. Also, did his son not tweet? That's how his family handles that. Bad marriage for life. He needs a divorce. Look, their kids are fucking grown, bro. They don't need to be together. Will can do whatever the hell Will does. Jada can go and slam all the young guys she wants and let that be that. She can end up like Hulk Hogan's wife. Okay, good. You got a younger guy? Oh! Exactly, Kurt. He was laughing before he done that to Chris. Chris shouldn't have said after his mad in March image how mad he will be in August. Will should have divorced it. Yeah, he should have. He should have given him an uppercut. I would have slapped him back. Like, I would have pushed him or something. Like, motherfucker, really? Because my whole thing is, if I'm Chris Rock, he's a forgiving cat. Will, you would have to pay me. You'd have to pay me. Like, if I let it slide, because if I know Will slapped me, oh, it's dollar signs. Will slapped the shit out of me, I'm getting 6-7 million. I'm getting a fight purse for that shit because I took a punch. I took an assault for doing my job. He did not have to do what he did, but he did it anyway. And I'm looking at it. I'm Chris Rock, and this is fucking Will Smith coming up to me. You don't know what he's going to do. He's just slap the shit out of me. I would be like, what the fuck? Do that again, mother. You know what I mean? But because naturally I would have attacked him. We'd have been, me and Will would have been, because he hit me and turned around. That's the last thing you want to do. You hit me and turn around. I would have walked out of tiptoe. Hey. I would have slapped the shit out of Will. You don't do that, man. Because she was Tupac's woman in the day August felt gangster. Yeah, I know, right? I fucked a woman that fucked Tupac. Yeah, man. The ride together, die together, bad marriage for life ending to that red table talk was disgraceful. Yeah, fuck all that. Shit, if you're Will, get you it's a lot of young women that like Will. Will ain't no bad looking guy. He ain't fucking Muhammad Ali looking no more, or, Bad Boys 2 looking. Will was a sex symbol for years. Why didn't the police intervene? It was criminal offense. Smith did it because he thought he would get away with it. Yeah, I think that too. He did that to Chris Rock because he knew Chris Rock wouldn't do anything. So here's my perfect opportunity to slap the shit out of someone for something they did that has nothing to do with me. JR, counterpunch to you. Usyk is coming for Tyson, and Tyson is running. It was a great cage match between Smith and Rock on Cultaholic Wrestling. Will was probably doing his dirt. I mean, I don't doubt that. You make all that damn money, I mean, pretty soon, and if you have a desire or fetish or whatever it is to do something, yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it, or you're gonna go someplace to do it, because that's what you want to do. Jada said Tupac would have shot him for that. That's why he slapped him. Probably so. Tupac would have, yeah, that man. Look, if you have any fighting bone in your body, which I don't think Chris Rock really had, but he only smacked him, so Chris Rock took it in stride. But let's say he would have slapped him again. White has brought Will in as a sparring partner. So much for cheaper to keep her. Just cost Will a lot more than money. Well, he lost his respect a long time ago. He lost his respect a long time ago. I mean, let's be real. He lost that shit a long time ago. I mean, when he went on that shit and he soaked and sobbed like that, nah. No way, dude. No way. That shouldn't have happened. So much for cheaper. He could sue Oscars as well, I guess. Yeah, he could sue them for not having the security. But, he's not, because he wants to do this shit again and all that. So, let me see here. I'm going back to it. There we go. So, all right. So here we go. We're going to listen to the rest of this here. Jake Paul versus Will Smith. That'd be pretty cool.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. the shit out of me. Keep my name out your fucking mouth. Wow, dude. Yes. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Oh, I could, See, you look at this guy here. This is one of the fakest smiles that you can ever have. This is a smile when you're mad as hell. You see this? Uh-oh, sorry. You see this here? That motherfucker's angry. That's anger, bro. That is anger. Look at that. He's mad. That's a fake ass smile. His teeth are out. But that motherfucker's eyebrows are up and he's furious. He is furious. Because did you hear him say, well, I could, Now what? Listen.
I could, okay.
Oh, I could, okay. Now, he was pissed. It looks like Marty. Marty who? It was a G.I. Jane joke. Kurt, did you see the Wayans Brothers skit in 1999 about Chris Rock getting beat up by celebrities on page? No, I didn't. Yeah, he's furious and professional. That's exactly what it is. I hear a divorce on the horizon. No, I don't. I don't see a divorce. I mean, that's what he should have done. I don't see it happening though. From Madagascar, Marty. He looked distraught. He was distraught. Yeah, so. But I will tell you this. Chris Rock, he has another show coming. He's going to do another stand-up on that whole ordeal. And that shit's going to sell up the ass. Apparently, there are other men who need to keep out of her mouth also. Hey, that's true. And he could have said that. Oh, like August? I bet you Will, if he would have said that shit, oh, you mean like August kept her out of his mouth? I bet you Will would have ran up there. And then somebody would have had to stop him from tackling. Somebody would have had to stop him from tackling him, man. White would have out from that slap. I guess that's knocked out from that slap. Will is under the control of a narcissist. I just lost, I threw Jada Pinkett in the same category I throw Jennifer Lopez. I do not care for any of them. Khan's whole body would have turned into sand. Legend of all shit. Yeah. Kurt, I sent you a super chat. Majestic TV. Where you at, brother? There you go. Kurt, I sell art and I want to partner with your channel to promote my art. I will give you a healthy split. Hey, man, let's do it. Hit me up on the gram. I got my Instagram back, people. If you guys don't know, my Instagram is back fully functional. And I know who the hell did it. You dirty bastards. Will's under JPS Ultra mind control. Khan got knocked out just by watching. Yeah, man, Amir Khan, man, he can't take those shots like that. Hey, Kurt, just joined the chat. I missed your opinion on this. Well, D 115 times. A lot of pressure Will was under. I just hate it happened to Will, Chris Rock. He just made a joke. He was just doing DeVille Kurt. Majestic TV, DeVille Kurt. But I think it came from Jada. It always been Jada. See, here's the thing. If you have to do that just to show somebody you love them, that's something you ain't doing somewhere else. They have fucking problems. And Chris Rock is not the most ideal person to be slapping, especially if you're 6'2", weigh about 220, and Chris Rock is fucking 5'8", 135 pounds. You're hitting a fucking lightweight, bro. You're a heavyweight hitting a lightweight. Will probably he ain't 220. He's probably about 215, 210. But still, that's a fucking heavyweight slapping a lightweight. And you did that over a joke. You didn't do it over the joke. You did it as an opportunity to release your aggression. Pressure bust pipes, people. Will Smith is too zesty to his own good. Watch Will's face after he walks away from the slap. No, he's like, I got this motherfucker. I just slapped the shit out of him and I'm going back. You know? Hey, blood clot fury. I don't know where the security was. Maybe they're all taking a break in the back. Will gonna get sued for 200 million, as Jim Carrey said. By the way, Joshua would have went to sleep from the slap. Will looked like he was grinning. He was grinning. I mean, he was like, I got this motherfucker. He did the craziest thing anyone ever did on national television. See, everybody like, dude, what is it? Dude, it is what it is. The guy that played Muhammad Ali slapped the shit out of this guy. Damn Botox on point these days. Kana box, there is no way to, that was staged. No. Blaine Walker, security, area secure. It was a fix. I don't believe it was a fix. I don't believe that. I do not believe that shit. You know? Matter of fact, hey, let's make a poll. Why not? Kurt, I sent you a video where T.O. said they already chose the winner before he fought Kambosos. Very delusional. Yeah, I know. Thank you for the super chat, Renee. God bless you, brother. This was history in the making. I thought it was all a joke until he said, keep my, yeah. No, it got serious, man. No, dude, listen. That don't happen like that. That you can't. No. No, it's crazy. Let's see. Was Will Smith okay. Cool. All right. That was shocking that no one called Will out for it. Having a cheating wife, a gay son, a weird daughter, I go crazy as well. Well, he does have a peculiar family. Nikki Blue Eyes. Snoop Dogg said on Instagram it was a fix, but it is now saying, nah, it was serious. Yeah, shit was serious. Of course it was. John Giel, I get it on street. I'm in Philly. Lots of knuckleheads. But in that situation, Will could have said, watch your mouth, Chris. Fact is, was Scrawny Chris hard to respect? Would he do that to Terry Crews? No, I don't think he would have done that to Terry Crews. Now, if he would have done something like that to a guy that's his size or bigger, I would have gave him more respect because, Scance Rants. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Will is too powerful. He thought he was above the law, and he was. Yeah. Nobody said shit. I never thought Miss Pretty from Nutty Professor would cause so much drama. Jerry, I know, right? For all those saying he was defending her honor, I say bullshit. What the Ukrainian men are doing is definition of that. James Bowley, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. Don't take the job, comedian. Someone may slap you. I mean, but I think it does raise the bar. I think that the next person either remotely goes up there and tries some shit like that. I think that'll never happen again. And see, Chris Rock didn't have to sue Will Smith. He could have sued the Oscars for not having the security, for letting him do it in the first place. I don't think Will thought about any of that shit at the time. Homie looked at his wife and just snapped. These things happen. Will Smith and Wes, I hope so. um, Jada was hating on Will. She should have just swallowed it and let Will enjoy his win. Something he sold his soul to get. Jada should have put a lace wig on if she really felt a way about being bald. Chris Rock is going to star in Enemy of the State 2, Rage in Honor. It's crazy. Was he trying to prove that he's still the Prince of Bel Air? Marshall Z. Bars. Don't y'all think the Oscars should have been revoked? I do. There should be consequences for these actions. Well, I mean, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I like both guys, so it was awkward. I would say so. I would say so, man. And I think that we'll let this pressure build. And I think that over time it turned into anger. And that anger and energy has to be released. He released it on that guy, Pookie from New Jack City. But of course, again, it's something that we really don't know. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors, except what Jada admitted. So I'm still trying to figure out how Will Smith beat the GOAT, Denzel. I have no idea. Blaine Walker, Will Smith getting jiggy with it. Crazy. You can't escape the world. Business and Oscars award go hand in hand. I think the slap topic is overrated. Well, I mean, he's the first one that ever did it. Kanye, he kicked Taylor Swift off because he was drunk. All right, come on. No disrespect, but Beyonce more talented than all y'all. He was drunk. It's Will's fault for letting it go to this point, though. Will should have aired out the spot after the table talk interview so that all the entanglement jokes shit was a pressure cooker to him. Yeah. You say you don't hit then yell, you yell then you hit. That's true. Chris is a comedian. He was doing his job. He made jokes about everyone. Jada should have worn a wig. No one told her to show up at the Oscars looking like a dirty tennis ball. That's messed up. We'll better not do a Comedy Central roast. He would slap Jeff Ross. You know what? I bet you no one else will do that. I bet you no one else in the history of fucking nobody would do that. I got a problem with the comedian point, though. Freedom of speech doesn't allow you freedom of consequences. That's true. You don't have to assault someone to defend your wife, especially when it is a comedian. That's true. He's paid to do that. I feel bad for him. While people wonder why they get slapped. Surprised he didn't get ejected. That's true. She was the alien in the Men in Black. Kurt, are they going to ban Smith at comedian clubs? No, he's not banned from anything. They just need to bring back celebrity boxing just this once. Remember, Boosie Lee Farnsworth was a beast. Most be nice, feeling like you can say anything. Can I ask everyone? Did you know she had alopecia? No, I just found out she had alopecia. Because people do that shit all the time. They get shit, right? Or make a decision. And that's that. Murphy salted Reggie, the comedian, in The Nutty Professor. Yeah, he did. And that was Dave Chappelle. Other Hollywood actors have had far worse jokes made about them. The joke toward Jada was very mild. Will is a beta. Kurt, if that were you, would you have sued Will and the Academy? I believe most celebrities are afraid of being blackballed from Hollywood. Probably so. Not if you're directing your own shit. You guys want to take away his trophy, but what Will done is far less than others whom should have their Oscars revoked. Remember Weinstein? Not sure if I spelled his name right. That's true. Do you think Ricky Service would have taken it if he'd been fighting or slapped by Smith? Nope. Nope. Ricky would have slapped him back. Rock's going to annihilate Smith in his next act. That's true. Freedom for Tank. I got to do a video about that actually. But yeah, man, I think Will, was lured in to do something to defend her honor. Think about what he says. Keep my names out your effing mouth. That was about his wife, but it was about the pressures that his wife put on him lately. I don't know what their relationship were before, but no. If you go on national television telling everybody in the world, hey, yeah, I committed adultery because I'm married to you, but I was fucking little August over there. Bad. How would the crowd have reacted if he had went up? Oh, he'd been in jail. He would have been in jail. Probably the state would have picked that up. Jada got no honor. She has an entanglement. That's what she told the man. Chris should have kicked him up the ass when Will turned his back. Yep. I gave him a nice little thrust kick, like a Leonidas. Bow! Dwayne if Dwayne the Rock Johnson would have said Jay to pick his hair is as bad or as bald as his would have been. I don't know. Because, Chris Rock is a different kind of guy. I mean, Chris Tucker was a different kind of, Chris Tucker. The hell I get him from? Dwayne Johnson is a different kind of guy. Yeah, that was pressure. And I agree. I think what Will was afraid of is how long and deep he was going to take that joke. And I think that was Will stopping him, like, hey, buddy, hey, stop what you're doing. Right? But that's what I think, man. I think, it was wrong on many levels. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And that builds pressure. But guys, I appreciate you guys coming on and talking about this non-boxing subject. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone has been Counterpunch. Peace.